going on, everybody? It's a lovely Monday. Welcome back to Studio 39, aka the Bear Cave. You know what it is. I'm Rob Odie, and this is Spotlight 39. Coming to you live just like we do at or around 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday. Got a stacked lineup with three super special guest student athletes to talk to tonight. So, first up, we got a young man from IMG Academy. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, give this video a thumbs up. That's the only way that YouTube's going to continue to push this thing out and we continue to gain the exposure for these young men. All that fun stuff out the way, man. Let me plug my man Darius Minor and the Darius Minor Foundation like I do every time. It's the Black Bears Heart Walk. Near and dear to our heart, literally to the heart. We want to raise awareness for heart disease within student athletes. We want to save some lives, right? We don't want anything bad to happen. I'm seeing far too many bad things across my Twitter feed. It's heartbreaking. So help us raise awareness. Help us do a good deed. If you can't show up in person, no harm, no foul. Please consider donating. Please consider sharing. Website dm39.org. Now that all that's out the way, let's get into it, man. So check this out. Super special guest. I'm going to hand him the floor. He's going to tell us where he's from and all that good stuff. So if you want to take it from me, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do. We're going to have some good conversation, man.
Sweet. Hey, my name is Kristian. I'm from Rockland, California, but I'm in Bradenton, Florida at IMG Academy. Class 23. I play tight end, D end, and a little bit of long snapper.
All right. So tight end, DN, and a smidgen of the long snapper. Class of 23 out of IMG, right? So originally from sunny California, right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
move down to sunny or go down to sunny Florida and hang out at IMG, man. So super cool. And we talked a little bit off air, man, and you said that last year was the first year at the program. So let's kind of rewind the clock, right? Let's start with last season. Let's talk about what you recognize that you thought you improved on, and then let's think about something that you wanted to work on during the off season, and then we'll go from there. So go kind of just summarize what last year was, and with COVID and all the crazy, what was last year like for you?
Last year, it was definitely a shock coming into IMG, coming from a hometown team and then coming out to this big school. Uh, I think it was a great opportunity, especially learning how to improve my game at tight end, especially. Coach Lyons on the O-line helps me tremendously with blocking. Coach James Price helped me with receiving. During the offseason, I did focus mainly on explosiveness after catching the ball.
Okay.
Last season I got caught twice on an easy touchdown. Not going to happen again this year.
Okay. So good deal, man. So what with the off season, did we attend any camps or combines or anything like that? What were you involved with? What all did you do after June 1, man? Because June 1, it felt like the floodgates opened up for the recruiting process, right? As far as being
Yeah,
able to go to colleges and visit and go to these camps and do all these things that, man, you've just been waiting to do. So what all did you get into?
during the summer I went to 11 different football camps
Oh wow.
all over the country. Yeah, all over the country. It was a great experience seeing all the colleges. I started out with the Elite 300 camp in Orlando,
Okay.
hosted by. That was also a great experience. Be able to show my talent in the best in Florida.
That's cool, man.
Uh, mhm. Since June 1st, I've been able to reach out to coaches everywhere. It's pretty nice actually seeing them respond for once,
Yeah.
knowing that there's no harm, no foul in them responding. It was great.
That's cool, man. So you went on a camp tour, and I'm finding that to
Mhm.
kind of be the norm, man. Like the last several young men that I've talked to, kind of followed suit. They hit up a lot, but I think you said 11. I think that's the most thus far. So out of the 11,
Yeah.
what are one or two camps that really stood out to you, aside from the Under Armour because you already mentioned that. But what are maybe one or two other camps, maybe at colleges or wherever that stood out to that you really got to showcase what you're all about.
It was great going to the Notre Dame camp. It was a very small tight end group, and I got to show what I could do pretty much right away.
Nice.
Being being one of the youngest guys there, being a lower recruit, and still putting in work.
Huge, man.
Making,
Young man in, you get
making
to go in there and show out, right?
yes, sir. Make it 3 star, 4 stars. Realize who I am.
Cool. So look, those star ratings, I'm sure they'll come. They'll come very, very,
Yeah,
very in due time. But there's way more to it than just stars and ratings and all that, man. So think about all the work that you put in this off season. You went on tour, you did all that, right? How has that work transitioned to the current season, right? We got 4 games in. What are you seeing as far as improvements in your game? Especially in the explosiveness after the catch. What are you seeing?
I definitely realize that I know how to run the ball a lot better. Uh, it just getting the rock in my hand is a privilege out here. Considering since last season we were a big run heavy team, now we're pass heavy. It's a great feeling. Now they also got me playing a little bit of D line, playing D line too, which is great. That was my position back home. Came out here to just play tight end, but now I get to show both sides of the ball.
Huge, man. So, there's a handful of guys out there that are starting on both sides of the ball, man. And I got to see a young man from Bosco, this past weekend on Friday night. He starts tight end, starts on the defensive end as well. And it just blew my mind the fact that he was able to maintain that. That's not an easy feat. To come out, play tight end, catch the ball, score a touchdown, break some tackles, but then come right back out and then rush the quarterback and get a sack, man. So
Yeah,
kudos to you, and I think you're in good company where you're at. Obviously, they're IMG for a reason. So I think you're in good hands, and the future is incredibly bright, man. So let's do this. Let's kind of shift gears into the classroom, right? Obviously, you're at
yeah,
IMG, so I would imagine the grades are where they need to be. But you tell me, are we academically fit for when these programs start, calling your phone?
yeah. I am looking for the highest level education in school. Right now, I have a 4.16 weighted GPA with only taking the SCT once sophomore year and getting a 12.20.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you're very very much academically fit for any and all programs that may come calling, right? So
yeah.
we mix the grades, we mix the talent, and that's going to bring us to the recruiting process, right? So what has your recruiting look like to this point, right? What type of conversations are we having? What are we looking at in the recruiting world?
Since June 1st, the floodgates have opened for me.
Love it.
The Ivy League has seen my grades. I've been to their camps. They know who I am. Coaches talk to me on a regular basis. Out in California, Stanford is talking to me, getting me to invites, see their games.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, game day invites, man, are they're second to none. You get there and you get to
Yeah,
see that atmosphere. You feel the energy, like you get to see the brotherhood live and in person. It's so much different than watching it on TV. I'm sure you already
yeah,
know. It's a lot of
uh-huh.
fun. I got to experience that. Going through that with Darius, man, and you know, for one, he didn't he ended up not going to Virginia Tech, but when we went there and they came out of the tunnel to the Enter the Sandman by Metallica, I mean, you just felt the entire stadium rocking. It was the greatest environment I've ever experienced in my life. But the whiteout that we just witnessed on Saturday, that I would have loved to have been there. Man, that whiteout looks crazy on TV. So that's cool, man. So we've got some conversations, lots of conversations from the sounds of it, and it sounds like you kind of know where you're going to fit in, right? I mean, not to say that you're not going to go to an Alabama or a Clemson, but I mean your grades are where you're at, right? And you know that you want the highest level of education, and the Ivy League is in your wheelhouse, and the fact that you're already having those conversations is a beautiful thing. So
Hmm.
keep doing what you're doing, keep grinding. You're going to get to where you want to be, wherever that program is, and I'm excited for you, man. So
Thank you.
yeah, man. So let's kind of pause the. Actually, you know what? I got one more question for you before we get into you, right? I'm just curious. With the highest level of education, what is it that you're looking for in a program? Because obviously, they know what they're looking for in you. What are you looking for in a program?
I'm looking for a program who uses a tight end like a traditional tight end, hand in the dirt, blocks, but also is that secret weapon whenever he goes out for a route, being able to throw people off him. I'm not looking for that program that's just all spread all the time. Like it's great to do that, but getting a few pancakes a game is also some of the most fun you can have.
That it is. That it is, man. I had one of the kings of pancakes, off the line, Pat Ricard of the Baltimore Ravens, right? Pancake Pat Project, Pat, call him what you want. Great dude, but I had him on, and that was one of his favorite things. It was like, I asked him what would you prefer, scoring a touchdown or getting a nice pancake, and it was hands down, just putting somebody on the ground, right? So that's
Yeah.
you've got all the right answers. You know exactly what you want, and that's going to be great for when those programs start to say, hey, we want you to be a part of what we got. You get to think, you know what, I want to be a part of what you got because you fit and check all the boxes for me. So that's super cool, man. But like I said, let's stop talking football because we could do that forever, man. I love football. I got Monday Night Football going on in the background. But I think it's more important to learn about you outside of the game, off the field, when you're not working out, when you're not playing video games or doing whatever it is that you like to do with football, right? What makes
Hmm.
you? What do you like to do?
For me, I just recently got into it. I've gotten big into music. I'm
Okay.
always listening to the newest albums that come out. Started picking up the ukulele.
Oh,
Uh, started like actually analyzing music. It's just a good pastime
okay.
when you feel very calming.
Yeah. I mean, look, when I need to get mentally prepared for anything, the number one thing I got to do is just I got to throw on some loud music and just zone out and get my mind right for whatever it is that I need to do. So that's cool. And then you said the ukulele.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's completely different. I've had a dude that draws anime, another guy that writes poetry, one guy collects bunny rabbits, um, but not a ukulele. So that's super cool, man. Let me ask you this.
Right.
Hold on, broke up a little bit. Say it one more time.
Irritates the roommate a little bit, but
I can imagine. Uh,
yeah.
so check it out. When it's Friday night, right, and you're about to go to war, with your brothers, what's playing in the
Mhm.
locker room, or if you got headphones on, what's blasting in your ears, getting you hyped, getting you ready to go?
Every time, "Bleed It Out" by Linkin Park.
Oh,
Right before you get in the game, you just feel your blood pumping.
yeah,
Same with lifting. If anything, it's just that type of song.
yeah. I mean, look, you can't go wrong. Again, this is a first. I haven't had a Lincoln Park on there, but I completely respect that. A lot of times it's Drake, it's the baby, it's Young Boy, all the modern hip hop guys. But I'll take some Lincoln Park. I love some Lincoln Park. Um, Super cool, man. So let me do this. Let me hand you the floor. I'm gonna hand it to you one more time to shout out anybody and everybody that's been in your corner, that's helping you out along, your journey, right? Because I'm sure there's a handful of them. So if you want to show them some love, for being there for you, now's the time.
During the summer, I was training with the Coach Day D-line vids. I knew nothing about pass rush until he showed me moves. Now I'm nearly unstoppable in one-on-ones because of him. In one summer, he completely changed my game. I would also like to thank my father. He's always been there. He's always in the gym with me, whether I like it or not. He's always pushing me to put on 25, 35 more pounds onto the bar. I'd like to thank Coach Bray for giving me the opportunity to come out here. He's a great coach, very knows the game very well, and he's very calm under pressure. You don't get that from most high school coaches.
That is very true. That is very true. That is awesome, man. So look, shout out to everybody that's in your corner, helping you along the way. Like I said, I think the future is incredibly bright. I think you already know that, and it's going to be a blessing to watch it, unfold right between, in front of our eyes. So stay safe, stay healthy, keep grinding, man. I'm going to close this thing out with the last question of the night, and that question is: what motivates and what drives you to want to wake up tomorrow and be that much better than you were today?
The idea of making people around me proud. I, when I'm on the field, I'm thinking this is for me. Let me get that film. But when I'm off the field, I'm thinking I got to do this for my whole. I got to do this for my home. I got to do this for my family. I got to get to the next level to prove the people who said I couldn't wrong. I got to make it to the NFL so I can give back to my community.
Huge. That's awesome, man. So I think all those things are going to be accomplished. It's in very short time. So, like I said, keep doing what you're doing, man. We're going to stay in contact. Hopefully, we get to run this back, and we could have different conversation around the recruiting. And you're going to be telling me, Stanford, Yale, Harvard, all these programs saying, hey, you know, we want you to be a part of what we got. So Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm Rob Odie. This was Spotlight 39. I got two more super special student athletes lined up coming very, very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere. I'm gonna close it out, my man Darius Miner, like I do every single time. I appreciate you, buddy.